believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up. So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high-quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music.
I feel the need for speed.
Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man Andy Gillard here. Hope you're all keeping well in the world right now.
Holly day, I suppose. Welcome back.
It's got hot again. What the fuck is this?
We get told off about talking about weather. We can't do it anymore.
I mean, in fairness, by the time this podcast goes out, apparently it's going to be 30-something degrees, so it's just going to be getting worse.
Perfect.
I hate it so fucking much. It's not pleasant.
You put that picture of Pika that I sent earlier. You are moaning about the weather.
Yeah, oh yeah, your cat who looks thoroughly fucking miserable in this heat.
I've just come back from Copenhagen. I'm now acclimatized to Scandic weathers, and this is just nah.
No, not having it. It's not appropriate weather. Hopefully it'll be back to fucking cold and grey and miserable soon. Speaking of which, the month was supposed to be happy month, sad month was sort of the theme. We've done the happy stuff, so now it's time for the less happy. So this week is going to be our top 5 don't watch alone in the dark moments in films. Next week will be the most soul-destroying moments in cinema. So it's the start of the sad season, I suppose, with this one. So top 5, go around the table. I'll go first. Stu, you're on the left-hand side of my screen. Ash, you're on the right. So if we just go clockwise, that makes it easier for me to keep track of. I will go first then. My first one, it's a film I've mentioned a few times. It's Unfriended. Like I know the lore of the story is I was watching it on my laptop in bed and it made me scared. Yes. But that's not the point of what I'm bringing here. But it's shot as though you are watching a laptop screen. So you do have that element of almost feeling part of it, like it almost tricks your brain into it. But there's a particular moment in this when one of the characters, Ken, is being recorded by a second camera from within the house, which he isn't aware of. He then eventually uncovers this second camera, and then the Skype call cuts out, the group start to log back in, and then we see Ken, and then there's a scream, there's a cut, the image cuts out, then there's a fall, and the camera just cannot stay still because there is so much going on in the room that it keeps dropping out. And then when it comes back on, you know, when you get that digitized look when you're speaking to someone on a camera and the internet is like not quite buffering right, so it looks like it's in 240p almost, and you just see him ramming his hand into a blender, and it is such a disconcerting image when you don't know what's going on fully because, as I said, it is constantly cutting out and you can't see it and you can just hear the blood-curdling screams and the image is trying to get together. It's awful. It's quite harrowing, really, and it's the type of film, as I said, I was watching it in the dark on my laptop, and I think that was the point where I was just like, nope, I think I'm done with this film for the rest of the night. I'm going to watch it tomorrow on my big TV in the daylight. And yeah, that moment got me. And I think it's a film that's full of like eerie parts, but that one especially was stomach turning. Stu, what's your number 5?
unfriended.
No way.
That's why I don't raise a hand or anything, because it's exactly the same. And I only watched it because of you getting all scared in your bed on your own. I thought surely it's not, but it is eerily weird. And even watching it, I mean, like all these films on here, that I have watched them on my own, just because that's why I watch all the films on my own now. But you do kind of feel uneasy about things, and you are looking over your shoulder. You are looking, think, is that a hole, or is it the camera? it's the. I think that the theme of most of my selection, spoiling it really, but it's like that it's possible-ish that gets in your head. The second camera was the part, if we're doing it like this. I've got things on here that are just the whole film in themselves, but moment from this is the camera where you realise, yeah, this is a bit close to home.
Yeah. Did you ever get round to seeing Unfriended, Ash?
I've not seen it, no. I'll have to put it on if it's in both your lists. I'll have to put it on the list.
The first one's good. The second one's not. Like, it's very different and it's not really worth your time, but first one's creepy as fuck. Really enjoyable. It probably wasn't the first of a film that's made using Skype calls, but it feels like it's one of the early ones that really sort of pushed the genre ahead. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's no War of the Worlds, is it? I mean, come on. But
yeah, very true. Ash, what's your number 5?
I've struggled with this entire list to think of what things have really fucking creeped me out. So, but I originally, when I watched it, before they turned the franchise into madness, Final Destination really creeped me out because the deaths weren't wacky, and you can count a couple of them in the first film where when your time's up, and all this shit's going to happen. One kid gets fucking choked to death by his fucking is it shower cord or whatever it is in the bath, and for quite a while after that, I was scared to go in the shower. Like, am I going to slip and end up choking myself to death? Like you say, it's that thing of, it could happen. So, like, particularly the death where the kid slips in the shower and fucking chokes himself to death. Like, it fucked me up for a long time. And I think there's quite a few of these sort of things that those sort of moments, they live with you, don't they? And like I say, if you take away the rest of the franchise where it turned into silly bollocks, that film on its own as a standalone, it's a creepy fucking film.
The one that got me out of them was the motorway one with the logs, because going up and down the motorway every other week, the amount of weird stuff that you see, and ever since that, even now, 20 odd years later, you look at things, you think, that don't look like it's tied down properly, or you look at like car transporters and you think, bit dodgy that. Obviously it's not, but that's the one that got me. But you are spot on with it.
Like each, especially like you say, before it turned into a bit like how Saw just turned into how can we do inventive kills. That's what Final Destination became. The early ones were almost like Rube Goldberg machine-esque kills. Like, it needed something to fall into this place to then set this off that would then start a ball rolling that would ultimately kill someone. And I really liked that because it's the chaos theory, isn't it? Like, one thing happens that causes something else. And it was very inventive. It was very original at the time. And it did lose its way quite quickly, I think, but early doors, it was great fun. It was a great fun series of films that always kept you on the edge of your seat. Like, even people dying after you thought, everyone's safe. No, they're not. They're going to get hit by a bus. They did a great job of keeping you in fear, I think. Well done. My number 4 is a film called Audition. Do either of you know this film?
I know it, yeah, it's not on my list.
Okay. So it's Takeshi Miike's movie. I think it's a Korean language film. Like, there's 2 moments. And for those of you who don't know the film, this is about Aoma, who is a widower. Several years after he lost his wife, he decides he wants to meet someone new. His friend's a film producer. They decide to host auditions. He meets and falls for a young woman, Asami. The film plays like a romantic comedy almost for part of the film. Like the first probably hour and a bit, there's like jingly jangly piano music and things like that almost give you that inference of like comedy's about to happen. But then you go into her apartment and you see that she's got something in a large sack on the ground, and then it starts to shake and move and scream, and you don't know what it is at this point. But then obviously you're unsettled until we find out what's in it, and a man then crawls out of this sack with 3 of his fingers, his tongue and both of his feet cut off, screaming for food, at which point Asami then throws up in a dog bowl and feeds it to the man, who laps it up like a dog. It is so fucking unsettling to see this moment. And then the next part is that she then attacks Aoma. I believe that's how it's pronounced. She attacks him and she cuts off one of his feet with one of those, like the cheese grater kind of wires. Just lops off one foot. It's halfway through another one. She's also pushing acupuncture needles into his skin. And she keeps going, kitty, 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 which means deeper, as she fucking rams these things into his eyes. And it's just in this really sweet, soft fucking accent while she's mutilating him. It's one of the nastiest, most mean-spirited endings to any film I think I've seen. It's brilliant, but it's a tough watch. And like, there's lots of layers of, is it a dream within a dream, inside of a dream, next to a dream? Like, there's a lot of shit going on that you're never quite sure of your footing throughout this film. It's brilliant, it's unsettling, and there's a lot of torture towards the end. I'm not a fan of torture porn stuff generally, like Hostel can fuck off, I think it's boring. But this feels like it's the exception that proves the rule.
Hostel Part 2 is better than the first one.
I never got around to the second one.
Yeah, it's a lot better. I'm guessing you still haven't watched a Serbian film then.
I haven't, no. Again, it's just the genre does nothing for me, but I probably should watch it just to say I've seen it.
Yeah, it's in the same kind of human centipede kind of talk, I guess. I've not seen it. I know what it is because of what you just said. It's been mentioned in the same kind of thing by people like Ed, who doesn't like this stuff. Like, why on earth would you watch it for? Yeah, because it's fun.
It is fun, and it's stomach churning. It's brilliant. Stu, what's your number 4?
So, I think there's a bit of context to it as well. Like how you watched Unfriended on a laptop in bed, I watched The Blair Witch Project on a VHS copy. From the Film Man from Wednesfield Football Club. Again, pre DVDs in a flasher Mac kind of thing. It was proper. Like he's got these new films in the back of his car. If you want one, you can have it for a few quid. Yeah, watching that. I mean, I wasn't even on my own. We watched it around a mate's house. When we used to go around after on a Wednesday night when ITV had the Champions League, and we watched that, and then we put Blair Witch on afterwards. And it's like, lads, they say the best here. And mainly the end, or the very last scene. Proper. I mean, considering you have to walk back because of where he lived, you have to walk back up. You'll know, up Linters Lane without fields the other side and all them trees. Not a good look, especially after watching that film. Obviously, again, ruined later on by copies and sequels that didn't have to be. And apparently, the game's really good. I ain't played it yet.
I'd heard that.
But yeah, the Blair Witch Project was superb at the time for what he did, and it messed my head up.
We went to see Deep Blue Sea on Halloween and came out and then went back in to see Blair Witch, if I remember correctly. We hadn't planned on it, but yeah, we hadn't planned on going to see Blair Witch that night, but when it came out, we saw some friends from college, so we then went back in and thought, fuck it, let's do it. So yeah, we watched it, the 10 o'clock showing on Halloween. And like, I had to close my eyes for part of it because, like, I've got that motion blur thing that just fucks with my head and makes me feel sick. Like, I'd got through to the bit where, when you see what we assume is children kicking the tent. Yeah. I had to just close my eyes for that bit because I'm like, I was going to be sick. I felt so ill at that point. And then that night, got back home, got the taxi back home, and I got to drop me off around the corner rather than like outside my house because, like, I don't want to pay 10p more if I can help it. So I got out the house and I thought, I'm going to call my mum just to let her know to open up. And I tried to call and my phone wouldn't ring out. I was fucking shitting it. I had to walk past the wooded area to get to my house. So I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I realised once I got back, it was after midnight, and it was back in the days when you'd put like a tenner on your phone and you'd get 30 days. So you'd obviously clicked over to day 31. And that's why I couldn't use my phone. But in my mind, it was the Blair Witch was coming for me. Ash, what about yourself, number 4?
Mine caused shit with its age rating because it was a 12A and it had no fucking right being a 12A. Its first go after Harry Potter, The Woman in Black. That film had no right being a 12A for what it was, because that film was fucking awful for shitting me up. And I'd say at that stage, what was it, 2012? What year did that come out? Yeah, 2012. I was in my 20s then, and not many films shit me up as much as that film did in my 20s. For a not really shoddy fucking English film that with Harry Potter at that point, just the jump scares was well done, and there wasn't much gore, was there? If I don't recall, no. It was just the tension that the film built in itself. It was superb.
I remember the scenes where you would see like the tin toys, the wind-up tin toys and stuff like that were moving, and you are right, it's the tension that they just fucking ratcheted up like nobody's business. Yeah, the fact that it was a 12A was absolutely ridiculous. I remember in my screen, like there was loads of kids, because obviously it's Harry Potter and the Woman in Black to most of them. They don't know that it's not going to be the most horrifying film you've ever seen. So they were like literally screaming at parts of it because it was so scary. I mean, I was like fucking holding on for dear life in parts because very tense. But yeah, great movie that is.
You know, it never did it for me like that because I read the book in GCSE English as an option.
Okay.
And I think that's probably why it was a 12A, because it was a school literally approved thing. And so I knew what was coming. So that's like one of the 10 books I've ever read in my life. So the film was ruined as a result. But yeah, if you haven't read it or you didn't know anything about it, it's like on a par with watch that and then watch the more.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna move.
Definitely. My number 3. The next film's probably might be on your list. This one though, Hush. The Mike Flanagan, Kate Siegel movie. I thought there's an outside chance, because I know you also like Mike Flanagan stuff as well, so I thought maybe. Have you seen Hush?
No. That's why it's not on here.
Okay.
So I like both of them too.
Yeah, well, they wrote it. I mean, obviously they're married. They're a creative partnership as well as a life partnership. They wrote it together. He directed it and she stars in the film. She plays a deaf-mute writer who lives in a wooded area for, a solitary life. Like, they literally isolate the character by placing her in a remote area, and then also isolated by removing some of her senses that, she can't interact with the world in the way that everybody else can. But there's one scene where Maddie, the character, where the guy who is stalking the house breaks in, steals her phone, takes a photo of her, and then sends that photo from her phone to her laptop. And it's so fucking scary. Like, you see her jump out of her skin and you're on edge because you're like, this is about to kick off. Everything then goes pitch black, and she writes a message on the window to him, which is basically, just leave, I've not seen your face, I won't tell anyone. My boyfriend's on his way home. And the masked man is just there with, like, there's no reaction for it, and then you just see him pull his mask off. And it's just this very normal looking dude smiling at her. And it's so, like, your blood run cold, because it's that moment of realisation that, it's just a normal person who is, they at least look like a normal person, but they're twisted. And then it sinks in that, he's taken his mask off because he's got absolutely no intention of letting her live at the end of this. Like, it just completely changed the home invasion genre. And I think that's a genre of films that is very good at getting, like, the chills in the blood. And I think this might be the best one for it. Like, it's so well done, and the use of sound, because obviously one of the characters being deaf mute, they do play with the sound in it. It's excellent. It's probably, it might be my favourite Mike Flanagan thing, or at least it's up there with Dr. Sleep. It's really good.
Yeah, I
Have
don't
you
know
seen
why-
that one, Ash?
No, I'm looking at it now. Looks
It's
good.
2016, I think it is.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd both enjoy it. I mean, like Stu, I know you like Flanagan, so
Yeah.
I think it would be up your street.
I was just doing the same thing, looking at why have I not watched it. I don't know why. Maybe it just one of them things. Just put it's on at the same time as something else, and it passes you by, and then you forget about it, and it just gets pushed down the list.
I feel like this, It Follows, Don't Breathe, like all of these films seem to come out. The Strangers is another one, which obviously that was Home Invasion. They all sort of came out at roughly the same time. It feels like.
Yeah.
As you said, the first Strangers is a decent film.
It's for the strangers. It's the bit when is that the one where they go, "Why are you Thingy says, "Why are you doing this?" And they go, "Because you were home."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not. Yeah, that's not good.
Stu, what's your number 3?
I mean, I do think this might be on someone's. A Quiet Place.
It's on mine.
Okay,
It's on mine.
so
Okay.
I've never felt so uncomfortable and so tense as most of that film. Like it's the bridge scene and the stairs, but we'll pass over it.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought of that, but yeah, you are right. There are some real, like literally holding your breath to not make a noise. But yeah, we'll get to it when Ash gets to it. Ash, what's your number 3?
I'm fully prepared to probably get flamed for this, but it still fucks me up to this day, and I don't know why. But it's The Village.
I don't know.
It's a much better film than I think it gets recognition for.
Yeah,
It's not brilliant, but it's not
No.
Signs.
it's for me. Like, I don't know why, but there's just something in my brain that just goes, because all the way through you're built on this monster being there, and then the twist of, okay, it's the elders of the village, and they know they're in on it, so they've said that she can go, and then you see a fucking monster. It every single time I see it, even now, it turns my blood cold. Like when you see the monster after she's been sent off because she's blind, and the chase scene, it turns my blood cold every single time. Even though I know it's Adrian Brody playing going full R word, like I don't know why, but just the fact that they've twisted you, and then the penny's dropped, and then the thing's still there as well. It freaks me out every single time, and it gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies.
I never even
Stu,
thought
you
about
pulled a
it.
face when I said it's not Signs.
I like Signs.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like Signs. I know that the last third is a bit rubbish, and it builds up to something, and then we don't get the ending. But I thought you'd have been completely justified if you said it's now old.
Oh,
the fuck was
God, I tried to pull that out of my fucking memory. That film was terrible. There's very few films I remember walking out of the cinema and I could just feel the hate radiating from the audience. It went down like a fart in a submarine. It was not good.
To be fair, the alien reveal in Signs is a top tier fucking jump. And fair fucks to that. I don't know. Just that's a good little reveal.
Not a massive fan. My number 2, this one I think, Stu, Hereditary.
No, I had it as a mention.
Okay.
But very similar kind of thing to Village, I guess. Just the unnervingness of it all, and
Yeah, it starts off with a young girl getting decapitated and gets weirder from there. There's a lot going on in that movie. It's the part particularly that gets me every time. Our protagonist wakes up in the middle of the night. It's very quiet and very dark. He goes down into the kitchen and we see behind Peter that his mother is climbing up the wall. So we know that she's in that part of the house. He turns round because obviously something spooked him. So we expect the mother to come from the front. But somehow she's in the shadows behind him in the corner, completely fucking out of nowhere. I've seen this film several times, and every time it fucking gets me. I forget that she's somehow moved around, and it always gets me. Because you expect it to be a face-on attack. But they just... They literally flip the camera 180 and then flip everything within it 180 as well. So you just never know what's going to happen with it. And it makes the whole film quite unsettling because I feel like that's how the film runs, is that you're never sure of where you're stood in that movie. I think it's a fucking work of art. I love Hereditary.
Yeah, I think I've probably seen it too many times for it to be one of these, just because it never really got me anyway. It was more just, this is just great. This is weird and great. It was never really a jump scare thing and like shivery moment film for me. Neither of them really. What came before it either. But no, it is. Even now, like sometimes when he gets promoted on Prime and stuff, and then it goes away again, and you tell people to go and watch it, and no one ever listens to you. I think you really are missing out. It's not a horror film, really. It's just weird.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's like I'm going to mention Backrooms for my honourable mention. It's a film that uses horror themes without being horror tropes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's the only real jump scare in the film, but you feel uneasy throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what I mean. Might as well mention it now. That's what the whole point of Backrooms is.
Yeah.
Until it becomes funny, with his stupid eye. But yeah, it was. I mean, I'm still amazed how much money that film's made. It's unbelievable.
Incredible, isn't it? That and Obsession, like Obsession's 400 and something million, is it?
I mean, that even more so from the amount of money that cost to make.
Yeah, like when was the last time you heard of a film being made for under $1 million? Like, I mean, it's got to be in the 70s at this point. Let alone, for something that's gone to the cinema, less than $1 million to make a movie is it's nothing. And
her with the upside down frown face has turned into a thing.
I mean, I said to Ash earlier, like it's a running joke now. It's incredible.
Like people just use it on forums and things, and you just know for well that they haven't seen you haven't seen the film. They just know it as a meme.
To be fair, I did send you a picture of Kerry Katona with her hand down her pants.
Oh, that's on this fucking list.
I saw someone use that tagged in hydration breaks.
What was the quote that mine once said? It was warm last night. I've got jock itch. Hydration break.
She looks like a car crash in that picture. I mean, she is anyway, but like nothing's ever looked more rough than her in that picture.
It's grim, and I hate the fact that it's like infected the real world because it's not right.
No, she had an OnlyFans as well.
Oh, God. No, thank you. I'm moving on. Stu, you're number 2.
There's equally as unmoving, the seance in The Conjuring, as well as the wardrobe in The Conjuring as well. I know you don't like it, but I love them films. They know what they are. They're not very good, but they're very unnerving. And watching them at night, I was, how old was he? 13, 14 when Ethan watched them with me? It was weird. And even I think because it's loosely based on real events as well, it kind of puts the chill factor up a bit much. But yeah, there's moments in that, especially the first one, that proper got me. I don't know if it's because it's religious stuff and it's things that you can't be explained. Maybe that's more to it than monsters and stuff. But yeah, bits in The Conjuring are weird.
Have you seen the Conjuring films, Ash?
I haven't seen any of those films. Are they in the same universe as? Is it Annabelle and them sort?
Yeah. Annabelle's the doll.
I've never seen any of them.
Yeah, there's a way to watch them in release order because there's no messing with timey-wimey stuff. And there's about 8 or 9 of them because you got the Nun films as well. They're shit, but you don't have to though. You don't have to watch them all. You could just watch the Conjuring ones.
I accidentally watched The Curse of La Llorona, which I think is set in the Conjuring world with Linda Cardinelli. Because there's another film called La Llorona, which was out I think it's also out in 2019. And I watched the wrong one, and it was shite. And then I watched the Conjuring film. They just don't work for me. I don't know if it's because the people... because like they're based on true events in that the people that they're portraying are real people, but obviously the stuff that they're talking about is bullshit because they're a pair of shysters. And I think that's what I can't get over with those films, is that they're just a pair of fucking chancers who are trying to make money out of nonsense. And I can't get over that with those movies. Like, I'm watching it, just immediately debunking it, and it spoils the film for me because I can't get over it.
Believe.
It's like, it's the separating the art from the artist thing, which I'm usually pretty good at. But I just feel like they're a pair of cunts and the world would be better off without them. So I feel like that's what ruins those films for me.
But look at Ryan Reynolds' best film ever, Amityville Horror. That's the same thing.
Wasn't that those cunts as well?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they were fucking involved in telling the Lutz family, I think it was. I'm sure they were involved in telling the Lutz family to, like, they were feeding into the delusions.
Amityville is mentioned in The Conjuring, obviously. But there's enough films of that it doesn't. You're not going to get another one. You don't need another remake of it.
I hadn't realised this. There's like 20 odd Amityville films.
Yeah, I know.
Christ.
Unreal. Like, you've got the Amityville Massacre, the Amityville Abortion, the Amityville. Like, there's just loads of different fucking Amityville somethings. Like, how on earth can you have made that many movies? Ridiculous.
I love them.
But I think they do, because a lot of them are just like, not even straight to DVD or straight to streaming. I think they're just straight to illegally downloading because they're just. Ash, you're number 2.
Previously mentioned, a film where if you make any noise at all, you're getting obliterated by big bug things. It held the room in the cinema so well because I don't think you wanted to make a noise, because I think you were so invested in that universe that you felt that if you make a noise, you're getting fucked up too. And it takes a superb piece of filmmaking to put you in that sort of universe where you're worried yourself you're going to get fucked up by big bugs. And like Stu said before, more so for me, the stair scene. I haven't gripped a fucking armchair, the arm of my chair so much as I did during that scene. And when she's in the bathtub as well. Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever been in a screening of anything where people have walked out with popcorn still in the bag. Because you're right, like no one wanted to do anything. Like no one wanted to eat, no one wanted to drink. It was like absolutely deadly silent. And that's been the case with all of them. Every single one that I've watched. And now people actually respect it. And they fully on. I mean, they could have done the same thing with the Bird one on Netflix.
Bird Box.
If that had been released, and just blinded themselves and never seen anything. But now it's exceptional. And again, not a massive budget, was it, the first one?
Yeah. It's one of those films, like, I don't remember many films. Like, the only other film, ironically enough, having just mentioned Ryan Reynolds, the end of Buried, and the end of all of the Quiet Place ones, there's just that fucking sigh of relief, because it feels like everybody in the cinema was just holding their breath throughout the whole film. Because, like you said, they just didn't want to make a peep, because it was like the fear was real in those movies. In all 3 of them, I think they've done a really good job in every one of the movies. I've really enjoyed all of them.
And it is the case of when living relatively in the sticks as well. You do, and you're walking home, and especially from walking home from the pub at night, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be making noise. You know, when certain Barry Manilow blaring out your ears. You're going to keep it low down just in case.
I mean, yeah, you do. But that's probably not because of monsters. That's just because of Barry Manilow.
Barry Manilow's got some great bangers.
I mean, he did the Copacabana, and that's the only one I can immediately think of off the top of my head.
Mandy.
Oh, Mandy, Jesus.
You've sung along to Mandy as you've sung along to Steps, and you won't admit it to anyone. We all know that you have, because everyone has.
I mean, that never happened, Stu. That never happened. I don't think I've even been with you when Barry Manilow's been on. I have been with you when Steps have been on. And you saw my reaction. It wasn't pleasant. Right. Honourable mentions. So I'd put The Backrooms and The Exorcist because I think neither of them are particularly scary in the moments themselves, but they both do a really good job of just giving that lingering sense of dread. And I think the dream sequences where you get the images of Pazazu during, like, when you just get the subliminal images of the demon and stuff like that, I think that adds to it. Undertone, this could potentially be in my list in a few years' time, but much like Barbie is just too soon. I feel like Undertone's too soon. That end sequence, when things go fucking mental and the light keeps coming in and out and you see things and people start moving in ways they shouldn't be moving, is fucking terrifying. Like, I can't remember the last time I've been in a cinema feeling that scared. That did a great job. Really enjoyed Undertone in a way I did not expect. Because you don't see a lot. It's all watching people listening to podcasts. It makes no sense. But yeah, that fucked me up, that film did. And the only other thing I wanted to mention, God of War 2018. So in God of War, you have to smash open crates in order to get goodies. There's one bit where you smash open a crate and this zombie thing comes out and attacks you. At no point throughout any of the other games does that happen. And it doesn't happen again after it, but because that happens once, every single time you open a crate from that point on, you're like, is this going to be the one where they're coming after me again? And that creates such a great sense of dread just by doing it once and not, like, keep spamming it to death.
Yeah, that's like the old Resident Evil with the dog and the window and that kind of thing, a classic. There's so many times you walk past windows after that and you think, it's going to get me again, and then it never does. Spoilers. You've had your time. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that one, the Undertone. That's another one for the list.
It was out earlier this year. Like I said, that's why it's too early to make that call on it. But yeah.
I mean, we mentioned already Backrooms, but I mean, I had it when you first said it, it was my number one pick, and then I thought about it. I thought that's silly because it's based around being 7 years old and watching a film that you really shouldn't have been watching. And it was the fact that ever since, for a long time afterwards, like, I wouldn't go into, like, especially having a separate toilet and bathroom, I wouldn't go into them with the door completely shut because it was being in an enclosed space and I didn't want to be teleported into a fly. And it probably messed with my head for months on end afterwards. And obviously I love that film now, and there's other moments in that with the when you see certain items in the jar which are more disconcerting, but yeah, the fly and its teleport machines proper messed up 7-year-old me. Good and proper for a while.
The compound fracture fucked me up for ages. Like, I would never arm wrestle anybody because of that scene. Because I think I probably saw it late night ITV when I was of a similar age. Ridiculous. Ash, any other mentions?
I had it, but I'd say I can't really put it on my list because it's, that's just me being scared of clowns. Like you with Undertone, I had Hokum when Jack the Jackass, the rabbit character or whatever it is, appears on that screen. Whoa, fucking hell, my arse nearly came out when that came on. And I had Outlast, the game, on my list as well.
Yeah, and Andy, don't say anything. Andy, just go and it's free on Plus. And I know it's first person and it'll mess with your head, but just play it for 10 minutes.
Outlast.
Yeah.
And Ed, when he listens to this.
Yeah. Apparently they're doing a film adaptation.
Yeah. Evil game.
Oh, it doesn't seem like I've got it. There's Outlast and I've got Outlast 2.
No.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. One.
10.49 on the
worth every penny.
Yeah, we'll see. If there's any YouTube videos, I might watch that rather than try and play.
It was one of the first ones that had like YouTube reactions because of how evil and horrible it is.
Oh wow, okay, interesting. I'd not even heard of it until now, so that does sound quite interesting.
It's in a mental. All you need to know, it's in a mental hospital.
Okay,
and it's first person, and it's
I'm going to see if there's any like YouTube walkthroughs because I'd probably handle that better.
Yes, there will be.
That might work better for me rather than trying to play it with the issues that I have. Right then, so number ones. My number one was also my favourite thing of the pandemic, Host. It's another one of these ones that looks like it's filmed on a. It's not Skype. What was the other thing that was big during the pandemic? Zoom. That's the one. It's done on Zoom thing. It's available on YouTube apparently, like the full film. So I would recommend it. I just love it as a film anyway. But the end, when everyone has been eventually picked off and we're just left with this entity stalking Gemma and Hayley's house. Like the lighting is non-existent at this point. It's shadows within shadows. It is so dark. And I think it's Hayley starts using her Polaroid camera flash to like get a little bit of light to see what's going on. And you got like click, flash, nothing, click, flash, nothing, click, flash, bang. And then the ending is like, I fucking jumped a mile when it happened. It's probably the best jump scare I think I've ever seen. Like, it's the only jump scare that actually got me. And I knew that it was coming because it is set up throughout the whole run of, like, as I say, you know, the flash into the darkness. There's got to be something in the darkness because why are you doing it otherwise? You know it's going to come and it still fucks you up when it happens. I loved Host. Host was unfriended, but better. I thought it was just excellent. It was my favourite film that I saw that year. And it's still a horror film that I just genuinely love. I think it's brilliant. 61 minutes as well. Fucking winner. Stu?
The moment an Asian girl steps out of the TV in The Ring.
That's mine as well. It's my number one. Yeah.
Well, what more do you need to say? There you go. Pass it along. Wonderful. Well, no wonderful. Horrible. Both times. Both of them.
I don't think I've seen the second one.
No, the American remake.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I've seen Juan, the original. And I think they did a sequel to that, but I didn't see that. And I know they did the remake.
Yeah, when she comes out of that fucking screen, ooh, no.
It's... I think because it was in... It's Korean, is it Korean?
I believe so, yeah.
And it's something that you don't natively understand anyway, which always makes things 10 times worse. And then, especially in the weird things that go on over there, it just proper tingles of this is uneasy, and a bit like The Grudge as well, but not so much. But The Ring was special.
She died 2 days ago, didn't she? The American girl.
What?
Who played The Ring, the girl.
Oh, we're all fucked now, are we?
Yeah.
Which one was The Grudge?
Was that the Sarah Michelle Gellar one?
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that one.
Is that the swamp thing? It's like swampy, like wet hair, horrible. It was all kind of the same kind of thing around at the same time.
Yeah, we did go through that period, didn't we? What did you say, Ash? Sorry.
Ringu is the best one.
So Juan was The Grudge, wasn't it? That was the original name.
Yeah.
I quite liked Rec as well, the Spanish shaky cam.
We caught. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good as well. Like, we went through a period of time where there's just a lot of really good foreign language horror that then was translated to English and just didn't quite work.
Was it Let the Right One In or Let Me In? Which one was the foreign one of them?
I think that was Let the Right One In.
That was good. That was good filming.
Let Me In is Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, less good.
Yeah. Apparently the book's really good, but I'm probably never going to read it, so I'm not entirely wrong. But I enjoyed that. Again, that was like the boom of the Scandi noir stuff that was going on. So to have got like a proper Scandi horror was like the evolution of it. It was good, that was.
Yeah, I've just started watching The Bridge, which I mentioned to you about the noir mystery TV detective show.
Better than The Tunnel.
Yes.
Yeah, as I said, I've seen The Tunnel, but I never got around to watch it. I think I watched The Tunnel and then was told about The Bridge afterwards. There was no point in going back, is there? But it was decent, that was. Stannis Baratheon was in it, wasn't he? I can't even remember his real name. I just know him as Stannis. Right, okay, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with a short film review where we'll be talking about Donkey. Welcome back for the short film review. We're talking about Fatia Al Ghori's film Donkey. It's available on the BBC iPlayer and also on YouTube. I'll put a minute on the timer. And Stu, you can go first if you just tell me when you want me to press go.
Okay, go. I want to start totaling up all these things, minutes that he's made me lose of my life watching this shit. That apparently this is a comedy. Who knew? Obviously the writers, by the looks of it. Fucking boring ass shit. This was 12 minutes, and it felt like 25 hours. If it was just a story about some Moroccan immigrants in London doing a little family thing, sound whatever, that would have been interesting. But to play it off as a comedy, I mean, I didn't even smile, let alone laugh. It was so bad. So bad. It's for someone, I guess, just not for me. And I thought, I couldn't believe what I'd watched. There's nothing more to say.
Cool, okay. Ash, tell me when you want me to press go.
It's not going to get any better. Ready?
Okay, go.
Yeah, that was something that I watched. The uncle reminded me of The Big Show. That made me smile a little bit. It kind of made me feel like they were trying to appeal to a different audience, you know what I'm trying to say, by having that sort of version of Catherine Tate and is it the schoolgirl character or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like it was for me. It felt like it probably was for somebody else. But no, it did. It just did nothing for me. Sorry.
Okay. The uncle was in Night of Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was. You'll have seen him in a fair few things, to be honest. He's... what was that show he won a BAFTA for? Home, I think it was. Sitcom. Well, he's a decent actor. But yeah. Okay, my turn. Right. Okay. So if you've been watching Taskmaster, like, you'll know that Fatia Al Ghori is like quite a force of nature. Like, she's quite chaotic and pretty much fearless whenever she's been on that show. Like, she kind of thrives when she's allowed to just run wild. And this kind of showcases it in very small segments, but the problem is that I feel like trying to confine her within what would be a pretty by-the-numbers sitcom-style format really holds her back. Like, her unhinged, unfiltered comedy stylings works really well on Taskmaster, but Donkey forces her into this quite formulaic, standard television box. Like, I found it amusing in parts when she got to shout fuck off and call people a nonce. I did laugh at those moments, but they were so few and far between that the rest of it was just a bit of a lull, to be honest. And it didn't work, and I don't think it showcased the best of her. I think if you're like vaguely interested in her, watch her on Taskmaster. I wouldn't bother watching her in this. Next week's short film, we'll be doing Small Fry, which is one of the Toy Story short movies. It is available on YouTube. If you search for Small Fry, it comes up as Toy Story short animated film by Cartoon Park. I'm guessing they've changed the name because if Disney finds out, they will kill them and steal children from them. Because, yeah, that's not allowed. But, yeah, it is available on YouTube. I presume it'll be on Disney Plus if you have that thing anyway. Right, Cruise continues next with Mission Impossible. Welcome back to the final part of the podcast. Mission Impossible, released the 22nd of May, 1996. 30 years old, which kind of shocked me. Like, he was 33 when he did this film. So that means that he was 62 last year when the final part of this, of at least his run on Mission Impossible, came to an end. Apparently, allegedly, time will tell. I assume it will be back. Whether or not he's at the helm, I don't know. But this is where it all began, and it's a very different film to where, I mean, even compared probably to like Mission Impossibles 2 and 3, massively different film. Stu, if I remember right, you're a relative latecomer to the Mission Impossible movies?
yes and no. I'd seen the first two years ago, obviously back then, and I watched the second one in the cinema. But I'd never gone further than that. And I do remember at the time, like the whole point was when they got John Woo for the second one, that he came out and said that he wanted to do each film differently with different directors and a different vision. Obviously, that changed a lot after the third, and it kind of stayed the same. But yeah, this is nothing like the others at all. This is like the show that it's based on. This is a proper spy thriller. It's more Man from Uncle, really, than anything else. And the fact that there's double crosses and there's who do you believe and who's real, and it's proper fascinating. Like, you can't even judge it against the others because it's not the same. And this is... I played the game of this before watching the film. And I never watched it in the cinema. And the game wasn't very good, really, when you look back on it. But yeah, so I got into it that way. And obviously... my son's named after the character of Ethan Hunt, which was mainly from the second one, but not from the first. But yeah, this is a great film. Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to catch up with them all when I watched them all last year before the final installment, but not for now. But yeah, it's very different to anything else he's done at this point as well. Like, he's not the arsehole. He's not. So he's got some romantic interests and anything like that. He's a spy, and we haven't seen that yet.
I feel like we could probably take elements of most of the characters that he's done, and they could equate to an Ethan Hunt. Like, I feel like you can see shades of other characters, but
that's fair.
It's not. But it still feels wholly different at the end of it. Ash, how did you feel about this one?
I think you got me and Stu are the polar opposites. I've watched from 3 onwards, from when Simon Pegg joined the cast, but I'd never seen 1 and 2. So this is actually my first time watching the first Mission Impossible. Obviously, I'd seen the references and seen all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's like I said. I said what did I say? Fuck me, Mission Impossible, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's just not the film that I was expecting, because I'm so used to these other films being these massive set-piece fucking non-stop action sort of films. And this is a very, very, very different film. Like you say, the spy films, it could be a Bond sort of film, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when you watch... So... I watched 1, 2, and 3 at the cinema, and then I think I watched all the others in the pandemic and just carried on like from there. So my main recollection of I've got a better recollection of the newer films than I have of the original. And like the newer films, like they're not superhero films, but they may as well be superhero films. Like, he's indestructible pretty much in these movies. So going back and watching this film, like, for the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh God, I don't think I'm going to like this. It looks weird. Nobody's pulled a gun out yet. Nothing's really happening. Emilio Estevez has just been killed in a fucking lift. What's going on? I just don't know if I'm going to like it. And the more I was watching it, I just found myself completely engrossed in it.
Yeah. And
there was no guns in the entirety of the film. And it's an action espionage thriller without any guns, which... Who the hell makes films like that now? Nobody. It's just... I don't think you get these films very often made 30 years ago. So it stands out so much compared to everything else that we saw around that time up until now. For the good, I think it is such an enthralling watch, because it's about the story. And the story is a little bit convoluted. Like, there's a lot going on. It gets quite dense. But... it does draw you in. Like, I still wanted to know what was going on, even though I was trying to figure out what the knock list was and why they were referencing Job 3:16. And there was just like layer upon layer, and it was a lot. But at the same time, I like stuff like that. I wanted to be drawn into the world, and it absolutely did that for me. I really enjoyed this movie.
I think the Bourne films are probably the closest thing that we've got to this.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And ironically, 007 First Light, which is, it's basically Tomb Raider / Uncharted crossed with Hitman.
Okay.
But there's proper, like, moments in it where you are searching for things, and there's ways to get the information out of people. And I don't want to say anything really because I've only played like 5 hours of it. Because obviously the World Cup's taken up my entire life, so I ain't gonna get to it for another 4 weeks. But yeah, it's very similar in tone. Yeah, there's a lot more gunplay, obviously, but yeah, this is more clever than I think people give it credit for. And I say, but that's the time, and I'll stay now. I hate, and I know they do it because it was in the TV show, and it was like in Thunderbirds as well. But showing the whole film in the title sequence is stupid.
That's fair. Yeah, I get it. The Langley Vault scene, that's one of the most iconic, most parodied, most memed scenes of all time. Like, I feel like we've seen that probably done within the Mission Impossible series itself several times. I'm almost certain that, like, fucking Scary Movie dog shit stuff, they will have parodied it a dozen times. It's such an iconic moment. And watching it back all these years later, it's so tense. Like, the whole time, I'm just edge of my seat. Like, I hope he doesn't fucking sweat on the tile because things are about to go sideways if he does. I'd forgot how brilliant that part of the movie is. Just incredible stuff.
Yeah, and the bit with the knife as well at the end of that sequence. So, yeah, perfect, absolutely perfect. And whether they're throwing the toilet gag as well, and it doesn't matter, and it doesn't take anything away from it. No.
Yeah. Like, at no point was it played for laughs as such, but it is a humorous moment. Yeah. Oh, I just thought it was such a great moment in cinema history. I really enjoyed it. Apparently, Tom Cruise, because obviously he was doing his own stunts, he kept smashing his face off the floor when he was trying to do that thing. So he put pound coins in his shoes as a counterbalance, so that he wouldn't keep just pushing his face off the deck. Excellent. Vanessa Redgrave, I thought was brilliant in this. I can't even remember if she's in any of the sequels, though, thinking about it. Like, I don't think she comes back. But I want more of Max. I thought she was brilliant in this. Stole every scene. Anything that you didn't particularly enjoy with this one, Stu?
No. Plain and simple, no. I mean, but then we got a bit of a chase scene as well. You've got to think of how old this film is, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't. Well, other than like the 90s camera angles and stuff at times, which we don't have anymore. It really doesn't feel 30 years old whatsoever. And yeah, obviously the train CG and stuff, which is one of the first. That's
the only thing really that dates it, isn't it? Yeah.
But no, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I thought it was quite interesting because obviously it's Brian De Palma making the film. So like you mentioned the camera angles, like he was channeling 70s Hitchcock.
Yeah,
like there was so many fucking Dutch angles and stuff going on in this film. It was comical almost how much he was doing that. And for a summer blockbuster movie, this could have been an art house film at the same time. If you'd taken the budget away and taken away the Tom Cruise of it all, it is borderline art house. I think it's a really well made film. And I thought the opening, like the Prague massacre, I thought that was brilliant. Once I'd got into the flow of it and knew where I was going with the film, it just completely subverts all the expectations you have of a film. So, like, obviously, it sets it up, and we have John Voight getting killed. We have Emilio Estevez getting killed. And you think, well, they're two big names, and they're dead within the first 20 minutes. In inverted commas, they're dead. Completely just threw me. I was like, okay, so this is not what I'm expecting at all. And once I'd got on board with that, like watching it back, I was like, oh, this is actually excellent. Kristen Scott Thomas as well, obviously being in the beginning of it, like big name actors just getting done. Unreal. I know we get it a few years later in Deep Blue Sea, and we would have had it in 1960 in Hitchcock, but you just don't expect it. You don't expect an actor of that size to get killed off the bat. I thought it was really well done. And then, of course, we get like one of the, moving on slightly to Does He Run? We get one of the proto Tom Cruise runs when he explodes that fish tank, and you see him outrunning water, which is just mental. But again, just such an iconic moment in cinema history, that whole scene, just the way it starts. I was blown away by how much I actually ended up enjoying this film, which I didn't expect. One of the controversies about this film, apparently, is that Jim Phelps, so that's John Voight's character, he's a character in the original TV series, and I don't know if he's the Ethan Hunt character. So to then have him be the bad guy in this movie and actually be the double turn, it pissed a lot of people off, apparently. Ash, should they be concerned about the history of the show? Because this isn't the show. This is, it's a new world. Should they have paid more respect to it, or fuck that noise, make the film?
No, well, hindsight's a beautiful thing. Like, look at where it's gone to. Obviously, no, because they've turned it into this I'm guessing $1 billion franchise now at this point. Yeah, no, like you say it's too hard to say. Oh yeah, they should be doing this because we've seen where it's gone to. So
it's fair.
I mean, he was the boss. He was still the same character as he's in the start of this film.
Okay. Have you seen much of the original show?
Yeah. I used to watch it all the time because it was one of the things that, like, Grandad used to had it on. I don't know if it was on video or whatever. It must have been back then. But they used to show like Mission Impossible and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. reruns, like on Gold and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I love spy shit. Like, we used to have like little spy kits as kids, and things like watch that things in and stuff like that. And did I want to be Ilya Kuryakin? Yes, I did. And The Man from U.N.C.L.E. film is not bad. It's just not as... It's played for laughs more than I hoped it would be. But again, this is what I said about all adaptations. It's a different thing altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you want. It's not the same thing. If you did it was the same thing, it'd be boring.
Completely agree.
If you got people watching Mission Impossible who watch the TV show, and then you turn him... First of all, you kill him off, and then turn him into the bad guy. You think, wow, okay. It's like saying that Mitch Buchanan is a mass murderer. Like, you're not going to make a Baywatch film like that.
I couldn't remember who Mitch Buchanan was, but yeah, I know who you mean now. Christ. They're doing another series of that, apparently. Baywatch is coming back. It's going to be awful. Like, unquestionably, it's not going to be good TV. Never mind. Yeah, so does he run? Yeah, mentioned it. I don't think he takes his shirt off, though. I don't remember seeing him topless.
No.
And I don't recall any sunglasses either. I know he wears what are effectively proto-smart glasses. I don't remember him wearing sunglasses in this one, but I know in other ones he does wear quite a few pairs as we go on. But nothing springs to mind in this one.
No, I mean, they were technically sunglasses because they, like, when she was on the staircase, and you can tint them, but he never did.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
but it's amazing how them things actually do exist now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've got some over there for like it cost me £45 off AliExpress, and yeah, you can't. Well, I suppose you can't live stream on them, but you can on Ray-Bans. Ray-Ban Metas that you would live stream. So
yeah,
it's happened.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Explosions get quite a few throughout. Like the best one I think is the water tank one to help Hunt get away. I think that's really done, and obviously the channel tunnel helicopter train. Like, that is pretty fucking high octane shit at the end of the film. That was edge of your seat excitement. I enjoyed that. Oh. The CG is a little shonky, but it's 30 years old, so I'll give it that. Cruise doing cruise things. I feel like this might be the birth of the modern death-defying Tom Cruise a little bit. This film established some of the signature tropes. Like, all of the films have got his obsessive nature to them, but pretty limited on the stunts, whereas this one feels like the first film that was made that was Tom Cruise does his own stunts, and that was a selling point to the movie. So I feel like this is the beginning of the next age of Cruise almost. We've got the vault hang, obviously that's a big moment of his, the exploding aquarium, the running, the helicopter blade. So the climax of the train, the helicopter blade spins mere inches from Cruise's neck. This is obviously enhanced by CGI, but Cruise was actually on a physical train rig with giant wind machines blasting at him 140 miles per hour. So as I said, 96, Cruise was 33. This is probably the biggest, hottest movie star on the planet as it goes. It's his first executive producer credit. So obviously it wasn't just an acting gig for him. Mission Impossible was the debut for Cruise Wagner Productions. Cruise fought Paramount fiercely for the budget, and he chose Brian De Palma personally because he wanted a stylish filmmaker, not a generic action director. This film ended up being a massive win for Cruise. Paramount wanted to keep the budget to $50 million, but De Palma and Cruise wanted like a world-beating budget for it. They settled on $80 million, and in order to make sure that budget went far enough, Cruise decided to take a $0 amount for his acting and had a 22% first dollar gross. That means that he starts to get paid as soon as the first ticket is sold, rather than a percentage once the box office, after the studios have recouped their money. So Cruise at this point was taking home about $15 million per film. This deal meant that he walked away with close to $70 million. He got paid several times over for it. He's always spoken very highly about this film with immense pride, calls it a massive gamble, which I suppose it would have been, taking nothing on an old property. Like in the mid-90s, this isn't where we are with IP, where we are now. This would have been a gamble for him, and it paid off massively. It paid off for him as an actor, it paid off for him as a producer, and it obviously worked for Cruise Wagner Productions. Like, it's such a massive win that I kind of wonder where Cruise would be without this in his filmography. Because he was obviously a big name, but this made him go stratospherical, I think. John Voight has openly praised Cruise, his relentless energy as a producer, noting that Cruise was running the set, problem-solving, and keeping the energy at 150% at all times. Ving Rhames, who's like the only actor to survive into the sequels, he jokes he took the job because he expected to be killed off like every minority in a 90s action movie. He credits Cruise for advocating for keeping Luther alive and making him a crucial part of the franchise. Peter Graves, who was the original Jim Phelps, and Greg Morris, who were from the original show, they were appalled at the treating of the legacy characters. But they would be, because like it means something to them, but to everyone else, no one cares. Scientology watch this week. So between 94's Interview with the Vampire and 96's Mission Impossible, the Church of Scientology had their fingerprints on what I might argue to be the worst fucking thing an alleged religion can possibly do. This is the tale of the tragic, bizarre and utterly scandalous death of Lisa McPherson. I know we joke about what happens and stuff on this podcast, but what happened to Lisa is an absolute fucking horror show. The way Scientology tried to handle what was unadulterated sci-fi supervillain shit. So it's 1995. McPherson is a 36-year-old dedicated, devout Scientologist living in the home of Scientology, Clearwater, Florida. She had just achieved the coveted spiritual state of clear, which I think means she was OT3. So, like, she spent hundreds of thousands to learn about Xenu. Scientology terms, she is a reactive mind and is essentially a spiritual superhero. So, you know how we've made those jokes about they were worried that if you found out about Xenu, you would get pneumonia and die. She's broke that barrier at this point. So, she's great. But she isn't. She was having a massive, severe mental breakdown at this point in her life. On the 18th of November 95, Lisa got into a minor car accident, like literally a paint scraper, if nothing else. Instead of exchanging insurance details like a normal person, Lisa got out of her car, strips completely naked in the middle of the road, and wanders around in front of the paramedics. The paramedics take her to a regular hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. But the second the local Scientologists hear the word psychiatry, things go sideways. Psychiatry is like Voldemort to Scientologists. It's one of those things that must not be named. It's a bad thing to them. They don't believe it and think you're an evil person if you do. So they swarm the hospital, declaring that she doesn't believe in psychiatry, and they march her out of the building. They didn't take her to a different hospital, though. No, they took her to the Fort Harrison Hotel, which is Scientology's grand, luxurious cult headquarter resort. And this is where the salacious part just turns into criminal, to be perfectly honest. Instead of a doctor, Scientology puts Lisa on something called the introspection rundown. This is a special top-secret medical technology invented by sci-fi writer L. Ron Hubbard himself. The introspection rundown in a nutshell. You handle a psychotic episode by locking a person in a room in total isolation and forcing all of the staff to be completely muzzled, meaning zero speaking, literally no communication. Their medical cure for a woman losing her mind is to lock her in a room for 17 days, playing nothing but first to talk loses. According to the church's own handwritten care logs, which they later tried to claim were metaphorical, bullshit. Lisa's 17 days were an absolute nightmare. She was violent, incoherent, she hit the walls, she refused food, she was clearly dying. And what did the highly trained, spiritually elite Scientologists do? They gave her natural herbal supplements and a sedative and told anyone who questioned it to butt out. On the 5th of December 95, Lisa is comatose. The church finally decides at this point, okay, maybe we need to take her to her hospital. But they can't take her to the hospital they've just come from because of the evil psychiatrists. Instead, they put her limp body into a van and drive past 4 separate hospitals on a 45-mile road trip to take her to one specific emergency room where a Scientologist doctor was on duty. Unsurprisingly, Lisa died on the way there. Now, the church's response to a woman dehydrating to death under their 24-hour watch, they launched an all-out, multi-million-dollar legal PR war. They bought their own medical experts, weaponized their lawyers, intimidated the state, launched a massive smear campaign, and managed to badger the medical examiner so aggressively that she changed her cause of death from undetermined to accident, and this forced the state to drop criminal charges against them. And Lisa McPherson's legacy does live on. Today, if you get up high enough in the Church of Scientology, they make you sign an explicit, legally binding waiver stating that if you ever go crazy and you allow them to put you in the introspection rundown, and neither you nor your family can sue them if you were to die. Like, nothing says that we're a benevolent religion quite like saying, please don't sue us if we accidentally kill you. Like, Lisa McPherson deserved actual medical help, and instead she got L. Ron Hubbard's silent treatment. This story is fucking appalling. This might legitimately be one of the worst things I've ever seen, and it's supposed to be a religion. Just atrocious. So back to the film, the big 3 awards. Cumulatively, we were on 20 wins and 52 nominations for Cruise, up to Interview with a Vampire. I'm kind of surprised there are no more big 3 nominations for Mission Impossible. I thought at least we might get some kind of the technical awards, but nothing. There was a Razzie nomination, which goes to prove how dogshit the Razzies are. It was nominated for Worst Film Written, grossing over $100 million. It was up against A Time to Kill, Independence Day, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the winner was Twister. Like, don't get me wrong, none of those films are all-time classics, but they're all at least decent, and some of them are actually quite good. And they were up for worst written film, grossing over $100 million. And that's why I'll never take the Razzies serious, like, just rubbish. The critical response at the time was pretty mixed. Variety called it the most dour, sexless piece of escapism in memory, complaining it lacked light-hearted wit of Bond or the smirking of a Bruce Willis's Die Hard. Siskel and Ebert gave it a thumbs down, mocking the confusing plot, complaining about the film underestimating the audience's need for a logical story. I mean, firstly on Variety, I like the fact that it's not particularly light-hearted. I don't want the fucking quips and stuff. I like that we didn't get that. We got a grown-up adult film. Strange. The modern reassessment is massively different, though. It's seen as a masterpiece of structural suspense. Film theorists note that later sequels may have become massively heavy in action spectacles, but the original is pure spy thriller. De Palma's slick visual grammar, the cold, paranoid atmosphere of post-war Prague, and lack of quips make it stand out as a smart, auteur-driven blockbuster that Hollywood simply doesn't make anymore, which I think is fair. The budget and box office, as I said, it was an $80 million budget, which gives us a cumulative total of $512.8 million. The box office was $457.7 million, which gives us a cumulative total of $2,918,300,000. Like, we're not even 15 years into his career. Incredible. Ash, Cage, or Cruise?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine him being in this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Possibly as part of the team, maybe Reno's character. But no, absolutely not.
I agree. Like, I mean, I feel like they're both exactly where they need to be in 1996. Cruisy's bringing one of the biggest and best franchises to the cinema screens. Cage is giving us one of his best films in The Rock. And like Cage's gonzo, unhinged energy wouldn't fit Ethan Hunt's laser-focused energy in the slightest. So, 100%. Stu?
Yeah, we kind of get a little bit of it in Snake Eyes, I guess. But he's just not suited to anything like this at all.
No.
He's, ironically, he probably could do it now as a mentor figure. But no, he's not an action star. He never really has been. Just not possible.
No, completely agree. So is he the saviour of cinema or just another sinner? Like, I think he's we get pure egomaniac Cruise in this, but it's the start of this incredible journey for the franchise. And whilst it does become a completely different beast pretty quickly, it's unquestionably one of the greatest cinema franchises of all time. And I love that this film is so tonally different to its contemporaries. And Cruise putting 15 million on the line because he believed in it. He's the saviour without a question. Yeah, definitely. Stu?
Yeah, no doubts about it. He's especially taking the risks with something. I mean, I think as well. I was watching stuff way older than I should have been, in terms of when it was actually made, rather than source material. But I do remember all it kicking off about what happened in this. It was a big thing because it was beloved, and the three of them were all the same, like Bond, Mission Impossible. I mean, you still had the other thing as well. Mid-90s, you did have polyphonic ringtones. As soon as we got them, early 2000s, it wasn't because of this; it was because of the show. And that theme tune was iconic, like Hawaii 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
That
I was
never
learning
changed.
it on guitar the other week. Like, it's still a thing. It's cool.
Yeah. So it was a big thing to do, and I looked it up, and the game came out 2 years later, and then the second film out 2 years after that. So it did make sense. I hadn't confused it. I played the game, and then I obviously must have watched it on video or something. But to do what he did with something like this was, I think it was just a risk. It was a massive show of, I've got the bollocks to do this. You ain't going to get many other people. But I mean, yet he wasn't. I mean, he said it was 33 at the time. Not even that old, really, as a filmmaker terms in the 90s. So it's I think a huge risk, but you've got to believe in something to put that amount of money up and potentially lose it all. Not that he's going to be struggling on the streets and anything like that, but still, to do the risk and then for it to pay off like this, superb.
Yeah, I'm with you completely. Ash?
Yeah, again, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but looking based just on this, like, you can see exactly where he wants to be. Like, no issues whatsoever. Yeah,
absolutely. Right then, if you enjoyed Mission Impossible, you may also like what you got, Stu.
I mean, we mentioned a lot more anyway. I guess something. It's more like cerebral than Spy Thriller, but Ronin.
Mm-hmm.
Like a proper grown-up film. No real quips in that either. Genre now, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's not talked about enough. I mean, it was at a time. It used to be on the front page of when you used to get your booklet from Love Film, and it was always there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where I watched it for the first time. But yeah, give Ronin a go. It needs the love.
Mm-hmm. Good shout. Ash?
Yeah, we've said most of them. Kind of thought maybe like go for the A-Team for sort of that. For those sort of TV show adaptations. Bourne, Bond, Jack Ryan, potentially. Not a bad shout. Yeah, something around them days.
I've gone for Slow Horses because I feel like that's the antithesis of the bulletproof superhero trope. Like, they're normal people dealing with paperwork in parts of it. but you've got a lot of the espionage stuff still going on. And the other thing, Black Bag, that was out last year with Fassbender and Blanchett. It's also written by Dave Koepp, who wrote the first Mission Impossible, like a cat and mouse story about a married MI6 couple. I really enjoyed Black Bag, and I don't think it got the eyes on it that it deserved.
No, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it was great though, and especially when they're sitting around the table. Yeah. I'll say too much because it's
the final dinner scene.
Yeah,
yeah,
really
brilliant,
good fun,
really well acted. All four of the main cast in it are tremendous. Like I said before, I kind of miss that just grown up cinema. Like, not everything has to be big and silly. Sometimes you just want something for the adults, and that's very much what that was. Really enjoyed that.
Which is probably why no one talks about it and he didn't get the eyes.
Probably. But it was really good. I like anything with Fassbender in and Cate Blanchett as well, to be fair, but strange. Next week, we're still in 1996, which is quite strange because we don't seem to have many times where he has two films in the space of a year, but we did with this one. Jerry Maguire, which I haven't seen for a long time, but I remember it being a film I really enjoyed, but so was Interview with a Vampire. So I'm kind of a little bit apprehensive now, but I remember really enjoying it, and I liked the performances, especially Cuba Gooding Jr. in this film. When a sports agent has a moral epiphany and is fired for expressing it, he decides to put his new philosophy to the test as an independent agent with his only athlete who stays with him and his former colleague. It's been a while, but I am looking forward to seeing this one again. And then the week after is going to be Eyes Wide Shut, which is going to have to be watched on 2 times speed because it's 3 fucking hours long.
Just do things properly.
I will, and I will complain about it the whole time. But I'm looking forward to next week's, if nothing else. Right, that's us done this week. Get in contact with us at Cage Fighting Pod on all of the socials, or cagefightingpod@gmail.com if you want to drop us an email. Make sure you've got us subscribed on whatever podcast that you listen to us on, and if you could leave us a review, that would really help us out, and we would appreciate that very much. For this week, Stu, would you like to say goodbye?
Hydration breaks are for everyday life, not just for the World Cup. Goodbye.
Ash, would you like to say goodbye?
Adios, amigos.
And it's goodbye from me too. And remember, kitty kitty.